আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠানটা খেতাবপ্রাপ্ত বীর মুক্তিযোদ্ধাদেরকে নিয়ে। তারা শুধু বীরই না, তার বীরদের মাঝে বীর। দে আর ব্রেভেস্ট অ্যামং দ্য ব্রেভস। আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠানে আজকে আছেন লেফটেন্যান্ট কর্নেল মোহাম্মদ জিয়াউদ্দিন আহমেদ, বীর উত্তম। অত্যন্ত সাহসী যোদ্ধা ছিলেন তিনি। পাকিস্তান সেনাবাহিনীতে চাকরিরত অবস্থায় উনি পালিয়ে আসেন, মুক্তিযুদ্ধে যোগ দেন। ওনার জন্মস্থান চিটাগং। পাকিস্তান সেনাবাহিনীতে 1962 সালে কমিশন প্রাপ্ত হন। চাকরি করেন প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গল রেজিমেন্টে, ছিলেন পাকিস্তান মিলিটারি একাডেমিতে প্লাটুন কমান্ডার। হি ওয়াজ ইন্সট্রাক্টর দেয়ার। পাকিস্তান আর্মিতে জিএইচকিউ রাওয়ালপিন্ডিতে ছিলেন এমএস ব্রাঞ্চে অ্যাজ G2MS। 1971 সালের জুলাই মাসে লেফটেন্যান্ট কর্নেল জিয়াউদ্দিন বীর উত্তম, সাথে ওনার সঙ্গী মেজর জেনারেল মঞ্জুর বীর উত্তম এবং তার পরিবার, কর্নেল তাহের বীর উত্তম, কর্নেল পাটোয়ারি বীর প্রতীক, এদেরকে সাথে নিয়ে পাকিস্তান থেকে পালাবার চেষ্টা করেন। কিছুটা পথ গাড়িতে, কিছুটা পথ পায়ে হেঁটে, দুর্গম পথ পাড়ি দিয়ে ভারতে প্রবেশ করেন এবং মুক্তিযুদ্ধে যোগদান করেন। কলকাতা পৌঁছাবার পরে যেন ওসমানী লেফটেন্যান্ট কর্নেল জিয়াউদ্দিনকে প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গলের অধিনায়ক করে পাঠিয়ে দেন এবং যুদ্ধের শেষ পর্যন্ত 16 ডিসেম্বর তিনি প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গল রেজিমেন্টের অধিনায়ক ছিলেন। চলুন আমরা এখন চলে যাই। স্যার, কেমন আছেন আপনি?
Thank you very much. I'm all right.
ইটস রিয়েলি মাই প্লেজার সিইং ইউ আফটার লং টাইম। এবং সবচেয়ে বড় আমার কাছে যেটা ভালো লাগছে যে আই হ্যাড দ্য অপরচুনিটি টু ফাইট আন্ডার ইউর কমান্ড ডিউরিং দ্য লিবারেশন ওয়ার অ্যান্ড ইউ আর মাই কমান্ডিং অফিসার। আপনি স্যার পাকিস্তানি চাকরিরত অবস্থায় যখন ডিসিশন নিলেন যে মুক্তিযুদ্ধে যোগ দেবেন, এবং কাদেরকে কাদেরকে আপনি সিলেক্ট করেছিলেন, কোন ক্রাইটেরিয়াতে আপনি সিলেক্ট করেছিলেন যুদ্ধে আসার জন্য, এটা সম্বন্ধে আমাদেরকে কিছু বলেন।
যুদ্ধ যখন শুরু হয় তখন চিন্তা করি কি করা যায়, and I found that it was necessary to join the war,
রাইট,
and join the fight. I found Taher ready-made, Manzoor was ready-made. Patwari, I didn't meet then. Patwari I met on the way to Sialkot. Taher picked him up. And then we bought a second-hand Volkswagen car. On a weekend, Taher came from Ahmedabad to Pindi. I used to be in Pindi in Ahmedabad. And then on a Sunday morning, Taher and I drove, I was on the wheel,
কোথায়?
drove towards Sialkot.
শিয়ালকোট, যেখানে মঞ্জুর পোস্টেড ছিলেন।
On the way, we picked up Patwari. That was the first time I met Patwari. He was a captain then, Captain Patwari. We reached Manzoor's house at about noon time. Little afternoon, at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, about that. I don't remember the exact time. And then his wife were already ready. In the evening after sunset, we started off in the car. Manzoor had his car, but we didn't take that. We took the Volkswagen, the one in which we came back. We were really jam-packed, so many of us in one small Volkswagen is a small car. Then we drove up to a point on Sialkot Charwa Road. It was a border road, Kacha. It was a dark night. We had our compass. We had a pistol each. These pistols are not the army pistols. These pistols we bought from Peshawar. We crossed the border, and then we went into Nala and decided to spend the night there. So we spent the night in Nala. In the morning, Taher and I went to the BSF headquarters, which was very close by us. And there was a captain in charge. We told him we were from Pakistan. We had our identity cards with us, and a few more with us in the Nala. We want your help. So he was ready and already briefed by the government to expect Bengali officers coming from Pakistan. After we had got an army truck came with an officer, the captain. We met him, and then he took us in a truck to a place called Pathankot. Pathankot. We met some officers there. We had normal chit-chat, and we decided to spend the night there. After Pathankot, next day we started for Delhi. In Delhi we stayed for about 15 days.
Achha.
General Usmani one evening came and met us.
In Delhi?
In Delhi. Mm-hmm. He was in his pajama Punjabi. It was a pleasure meeting old Usmani there. He made us a very fine person, Usmani. So in Delhi, after 15 days, we were cleared, and then we were taken by train to Calcutta.
Achha.
And then after a day or two, we got our postings. I was posted as CO of West Bengal.
Senior Tiger.
Senior Tiger in West Bengal. This is a battalion in which I was commissioned into.
Exactly.
In the army, it's a great pleasure to be able to command a battalion which you joined, and later you command the same battalion. It's a great pleasure.
এবং শুধু এটাই না, in 1965 war you were the adjutant of 1st East Bengal Regiment.
Yes, that's right. I was adjutant of 1st East Bengal Regiment during 65 war. Mm-hmm. There's a great lot of memories about that. And I will not go that side. So one day Tahir and I started off as per Spanish orders for Tel Dala. To go to Guwahati, from Guwahati you get into your truck and go to Tel Dala.
Right. ফার্স্ট বেঙ্গলে যখন আপনি জয়েন করলেন,
Yes.
এই জায়গায় আপনি জয়েন করার আগে কমলপুরে তারা একটা অ্যাটাক করেছিল প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গল রেজিমেন্ট, অ্যান্ড ইট ওয়াজ এ ডিজাস্ট্রাস অ্যাটাক. ফার্স্ট বেঙ্গল সাফার্ড হিউজ ক্যাজুয়ালিটিস.
I heard it.
তো আপনি যখন যাওয়ার পরে এই যে ট্রুপসদের যে মনোবল, যেটা দেখি বলতে কিছুই ছিল না, ভেঙে গিয়েছিল, সেটাকে আপনি রিঅর্গানাইজ করেছিলেন, তাদেরকে উদ্বুদ্ধ করেছিলেন, এটা সম্বন্ধে আমাদেরকে কিছু বলেন.
Counter-operation broke them down morally.
Absolutely.
Their morale was low. And they were all talking about the heroic deed they did in the counter-operation, the hand-to-hand fight they had with the Pakistanis, the attacks. There was lack of artillery support. And also, operation was, troops were less.
আমরা জানি যে আমরা মিলিটারি হিস্ট্রিতে এটা পাই যে আপনি ছোট ছোট অপারেশন দিয়ে ডিফারেন্ট লেভেলসের কমান্ডারদেরকে নিয়ে আপনি যুদ্ধে গিয়েছিলেন.
Yes. The only way to build them up as a fighting force is to get them involved in some small fights, and they must, on the condition that they win it. If you lose any further, then you will not be able to build them morale at all. It will be a gone case.
Exactly.
They never thought that 75 million
the
people
guerrilla
would
commanders
rise at
we
once.
visited
They thought
are former
by
regular army
taking
officers.
this ruthless action,
Both
by
are graduates of the
terrorizing,
Pakistan
they would be able to
military
cow down the
academy.
people.
Major Shafat, how large an area do you control here?
I'm holding an area approximately 450 square miles with a population of 1 million.
Well, what are the chances of the Pakistanis hitting us with aircraft right now? We're sitting right out in the open. Do they do that often?
They can do come. They've been stuffing here and there everywhere.
Because since we have nothing against it, barring few automatics to be used, so they can use the air very freely. Bad weather, stormy day, cloudy day, we take the advantage, and moreover, since we operate at night, they can do nothing to us at night.
What sort of tactics do you use to overcome the Pak Army's tremendous superiority in firepower?
We do not give them a pitch battle, because in that they have the advantage. We melt away. We sit on the aloft seas and ambush their columns. We raid their outposts. We try and isolate them and destroy them in detail.
Is it a military secret to ask how many troops you've got in this area?
No, it is not a military secret. As a matter of fact, there are plenty of troops. but most of them are unarmed.
The guerrillas have a grab bag collection of weapons, mostly small arms that have been captured or smuggled in from India. But they are confident.
This is the colonial war. We have seen in history, the colonial war, every colonial power had to vacate the place. Pakistan is a third-rate power. How can they afford to fight and win a war, having a line of communication of 3,000 miles with a very meager economy, and fighting against a population of 75 million who have risen in unison for one thing, that is democratic right and their self-determination and independence.
As we traveled through the area held by the Mukti foes, we visited several towns, all of them fortified with bunkers and anti-aircraft machine gun positions. This town is called Ramari. Its pre-war population was 5,000, but the number has gone up with the influx of refugees from areas controlled by the army. The West Pakistanis were driven out of here 6 months ago. Since then, the guerrillas have been in complete control, and the local population seems to like it.
The towns in the areas controlled by the Mukti foes guerrillas are as near to normal as you could ask, except for occasional air raids. One of the interesting things inside the rebel areas is the way the Bangladesh has set up a complete civil administration. There are policemen here, there are judges, there's a town administrator, public health service, although they don't have much to work with, even a newspaper. The local Bangladesh government is even self-supporting. They impose a nominal tax on the major export crop of the area, that's jute, and from that they finance all of their civil activities and some of their military activities.
স্যার, ধলই যে যুদ্ধটা, সেখানে প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গল রেজিমেন্টের একটা শক্ত একটা ভূমিকা ছিল, বিসাইড আপনার ইন্ডিয়ান আর্মি ওখানে ছিল। ওই ধলই বিওপের অপারেশনটা আপনি দুইটা ফেজ অপারেশনটা চিন্তাটা করেছিলেন। একটা হলো সম্মুখ সমরে ধলই, একটা ছিল পাট্রাকোলার পিছন দিক থেকে ওদেরকে ব্লক করা। এটা সম্বন্ধে আমাদেরকে কিছু বলেন।
নেওয়ার পর কিছুক্ষণ পরেই পাকিস্তান আর্মি অ্যাটাকড আস।
হ্যাঁ,
We defended ourselves.
Right.
The attack didn't succeed. When attack didn't succeed, position in Dalai became weak for the Pakistanis. However, it didn't happen, the enforcement couldn't come. I blocked them. আর একটা battalion Indian army এসে put in an evening attack.
ধলইতে।
Right. That attack succeeded, but had a lot of casualties. Actually, these Pakistani defenses were well mined, barbed wire,
সবকিছু ছিল,
and
সামনে মাইন ছিল,
bamboo punches, very sharp, that cut your feet.
বাঁশের
Oguли. So by evening, the second day or third day, I forget, the Rai fort was taken.
এটা দখলে চলে আসলো।
Indian Army had about 2 battalions, then artillery was there, then there was my own battalion.
আমাদের দুটো কোম্পানি ছিল ওখানে।
দুটো কোম্পানি ছিল, এই about 2 battalions, plus you can say a brigade, weak brigade. So the Rai operation was a big operation.
আমাদের সেনাবাহিনী ফর্ম হলো 21শে নভেম্বর। তখন প্ল্যান করা হলো যে অফেন্সিভ লঞ্চ করা হবে। যখন ফাইনাল অফেন্সিভ লঞ্চ করার কথা এবং টার্গেট টু রিচ সিলেট, আপনার
In the advances, all the advances I did was at night.
চারগ্রামটা দখল করেছিলেন কয়টায়? এটা তো সকালবেলায়।
Early in the morning.
Morning,
Early in the morning. Night and early in the morning. At daytime we rested.
এরপর তো প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গল রেজিমেন্ট যতগুলি অ্যাটাক করে সামনে আগাচ্ছিল, প্রতিটা অ্যাটাকেই তারা যুদ্ধ জয় করত। কানাইঘাটের যুদ্ধের সম্বন্ধে আমাদেরকে
It's an ambush. We advanced, we continued to advance. It was one of the advanced platoons at the most. After that, next morning, I took position there. At night, I didn't advance anymore. Next morning, early morning, Pakistan had put in an attack.
31st পাঞ্জাব রেজিমেন্ট।
I don't remember the name. the Pakistanis put an attack. In this attack, they captured some of my positions. But on the whole, the battalion was intact. I was not harmed anywhere. Captain Mahbub, another brave officer, he got a direct shell hit and died. Then Flight Lieutenant Liaquat took over that company. And then, তারপর
ফার্স্ট বেঙ্গল অ্যাটাকটা আসলো,
attack partially Indians succeeded. So I was reported by Watawari that what to do now. I said we counterattack. After that comes your role, Lieutenant Wakad, and you put in a beautiful attack, very brave attack, and recaptured the lost positions. Here Pakistan army had heavy casualties.
Heavy casualties.
Very heavy
We
casualties.
killed 88.
About 80, over nearly 100.
Including your coursemate, Major Sarwar, was killed.
I think High Command decided to send me to infiltrate. Infiltration plan was made by me, along with other company commanders. Hafiz was an active person. Captain Hafiz,
Right.
an active person. He, myself, and a few other officers were there. We made the plan. We got hold of the guide. Hafiz played a very active role here. And we decided to move by night. And Haur, I never seen a Haur before. I've heard of it. Whatever Haur did Java, it was a very difficult task, but then there's no other way. There's no other route to go to MC College, Sylhet, apart from crossing the High Haur. It was a slow march, and it was a single file march. তারপর যখনই একটু আলাদা হয়ে যেতাম, I used to count the set and make it clear again.
Right.
I said plenty of time is there, whole night is there to get across. So this is how we went across, and then suddenly at one spot from the front, I forget his name, he reported we have reached the main road, Pakka road. I said then okay, now stop there, let everybody collect. And then we'll get across the road at night in small groups. So as far as no casualties take place, no noise takes place. And you don't run, you just walk fast. And everybody did that, and we, after about a couple of hours, it took us to cross that. We crossed the road and we were on the other side in a tea garden. Chiknagul tea garden. And it was night had passed by then. In the morning we decided to, not to rest, but to move along.
Right.
So whole night we moved, at daytime again we were moving. We moved along and reached the small hillocks around MC College.
আচ্ছা, এখানে আমি এই যে আপনি যে চিকনাগুল টি স্টেটের মধ্যে গিয়ে কনসেন্ট্রেট করলেন সবাইকে নিয়ে, এই চিকনাগুল থেকে এমসি কলেজ পৌঁছাতে পথে কি কোনো কনফ্রন্টেশন হয়েছিল?
No confrontation.
Clean passage?
No, it was a clean march.
মানে পাকিস্তানিরা তো অন দ্য রান?
On the run. So they had no, moreover, Pakistani had enemies everywhere. They were already safe among themselves. তারপরে এমসি করে পজিশন নিলাম, এমসি করে পজিশন নেওয়ার পর,
এটা ডিসেম্বর মাসে কয় তারিখ?
I forgot the date.
এটা কি অ্যারাউন্ড 12-13?
I don't know.
আচ্ছা, মানে fag end of the war.
Captain Hafiz called on a set saying, I can see Pakistan is retreating. Shall I open up? I said, yes, you open up. And then a fight began. It was a bitter fight for quite some time, about 2-3 hours fight went on. It was a ding-dong battle. Sometimes we had to give in a place, sometimes we kept fed another place. It was a ding-dong thing that was going on. And it went on for a couple of hours. till Pakistan stopped moving anymore toward us, and I heard that they have already surrendered.
কিন্তু এখানে এমসি কলেজে দ্য ব্যাটল লাস্টেড ফর 48 আওয়ার্স। 2 দিন যুদ্ধ হয়েছিল প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গল রেজিমেন্টের সাথে।
No, not 2 days. It was in the morning until afternoon.
তারপরে পরের দিনের শেষে গিয়ে বিকালবেলা গিয়ে 15 তারিখে গিয়ে দে সারেন্ডার্ড, ইফ আই এম নট রং।
I forget the dates. You may be right. I forget the dates.
ওখানে প্রথম ইস্ট বেঙ্গল রেজিমেন্ট আমাদের ক্যাজুয়ালিটি হয়েছিল।
We had 22 casualties.
22 ক্যাজুয়ালিটি।
22 casualties.
এবং পাকিস্তান ক্যাজুয়ালিটি সম্বন্ধে আপনার কোনো আইডিয়া আছে?
Oh, there's safety about 100.
Yes, huge casualty.
We want our independence. We want an independent Bangladesh.